welcome back to the Polity, coming to you live from the Abuja studio of Captain Television. Today we're talking about how the ADC has to navigate between a hard rock, a rock and a hard place, you know. So, I mean, this is about the only opposition party or coalition that has some glimmer of hope of even putting up a fight at all in the 2027 elections. And now you have a situation where the Nigerian people, a lot of Nigerians believe that this gentleman agreement between the North and the South for power rotation should be observed and adhered to. But then you also have a situation where maybe if you go by that, let's call it a strategy now, if a party feels that it may not quite go the distance, what option do they have? Should they just toe the path of finesse and just follow the path of those populist sentiments, or should they get cracking and get hard in the game and really give it the tackles that it requires? I mean, which one's better in the final analysis? Because the final destination point, the whole purpose is to win power. Now, so would you rather just follow the path of finesse and maybe crash out, lose out, or would you rather follow some not too on the outside, not too beautiful, maybe not too fantastic for the ops, for the click lights, but may get you somewhere? So that's the challenge that the ADC most probably will be facing right now. Now, my guest has come in, and his name is Samaila Musa. He is the National Coordinator, Grassroots Mobilisation Initiative, and he used to be the former Director Strategic Communication for the Coalition of Northern Groups. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Welcome, Samaila.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. And Samaila has been here on a number of occasions, and he gives a fantastic account of himself, and his knowledge of the politics of this country is top-notch. And of course, you will hear him yourself, and you will be in a better place to judge. All right. So, Samaila, let's go this way. As of today, at a time when the entire opposition formation seems to be in disarray, is there any party that shows that's showing some promise, that's showing some strength, that shows that it can put up a fight in the Nigerian space today in the 2027 elections?
Yeah, so I think just like you said earlier, the ADC seems to have some, glimmer of putting up a fight, come 2027. But to a lot of people, it's still an accident waiting to happen, because you see the people, the kind of characters coming together in the ADC is another factor that needs to be looked into. These are people who all have ambitions, who are not ready to drop their ambitions for the other person. So, and prominently is Atiku and Obi, right? So, who is going to drop his ambition for the other is another question. The Atiku's side, based on some kind of mistrust of what Obi might come up with in the long run, are also, having some permutations by the side. The Obi's angle also saying, well, if in the long run it doesn't go our way, so what do we do?
Yeah.
What's our next plan? So both of them now, and the body language is tilting towards this might not work, and so everybody is now strategizing. It seems it might not work. So, what's the plan B? Both ends are shopping for plan B. You see, some Obi loyalists are pushing for Obi Kwankwaso on this side. Now, Atiku on the other side. Just recently, we saw how Makinde is also coming into the equation of where it might likely go. So there's that mistrust or distrust, I'll call it, in that party. But largely, well, based on the kind of people who are coming there, because a lot of them is either they are nursing some kind of wounds, because quite a number of them have been in the APC or in the PDP, you know. So just coming together because now we have a common enemy, even though me and you, we don't like each other.
Yeah.
But now we have a common enemy, let's come together. So usually most of those kind of things, once what is bringing them together is actually not working out, you find out that it doesn't last and everybody goes its way. But yeah, so far, by analysis, you know, the ADC is still the strongest opposition coming to 2027.
You know, you just talked about when we have a common enemy, and then even though we don't relate together, but since we have identified a common enemy, we put resources together and forces together to try to undo the other party.
Exactly.
Now, it's like how you go to UK, you travel fairly often, and then everybody from Nigeria is your brother suddenly. Whereas when you get back home in Nigeria,
it's usually different, you know.
So now let's take a look at this. Yeah, you believe that the ADC is one party that is showing some promise. All right, but then you have also identified factors that could polarize and ultimately destroy the party. Now, where does, because you see, as we speak, we are not aware that Makinde has left the PDP. So, and the PDP is not in coalition currently. So, what exactly do you think is playing out there?
Okay, so you see, and that's why we keep telling people a lot of the times, most of these guys are not rooted out for anybody's interest. Rather, their own interest comes first.
That's it.
So, people are holding political meetings, and right after the meetings, they are heading into another meeting somewhere else, right? Because what you see playing out is that before now, right in PDP, for example, people who have ambitions are already saying, okay, look, if we have to leave it for the South based on written agreements of the PDP South versus, but since the ruling party is from the South, so just allow the South to also go, and that's what is giving Seyi Makinde an edge over the other people, right, in the PDP. Now, coming to the ADC as well, because I'll go back to the question of the PDP, you know, and all that. Coming to the ADC is also trying to play the same card, but you see, people like Atiku will always tell you that even if you zone the PDP chairmanship to my to Ganye is this village, I'm still going to contest, because you understand, they usually bring that thing up to say if the chairman of the party comes from this zone, then the presidential
must come from this other.
So, and you always make it known that if you zone it to Ganye itself, the chairmanship of the party,
he will still contest.
So you would know Atiku will keep contesting, and that is the reason why some people are not always comfortable when they see him in their party. And I think that should be the first thing to consider when this coalition was coming up, to look, this guy is not going to back down for anybody anyway, for any reason. Now, back to the PDP. Now, Makinde is not like as if he's the strongest in the PDP, but because the PDP is looking at it that let it be the slot of the South. Now, and that's the only PDP governor that is still standing in the whole of the southern Nigeria as we speak now, or in the southwest as it is today, because it will have been him and Adeleke, but you know, the situation in Osun State is actually not something that will warrant Adeleke to keep contesting under the PDP. So now the opposition is looking at it that if you single out some individuals, because they all have ambitions, they are going to go after their ambition and discard whatever loyalty they are paying to the party. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, and this is exactly what is playing out. At some point, some talks were going on. Some persons were feeling, why not drop Jonathan into
the race?
The race. If he's not comfortable to come to the ADC, let him go and contest under the PDP. Then some of us are going to have some alliance with the PDP to say we're all going to back Jonathan, but under a condition that is just going to be one term that Jonathan is going to stay there for. Of course, constitutionally, he does not have the right to even contest after this, except if, politicians, they can always try to amend the constitution to favor them once they are in power sometimes. So, if they had succeeded in pulling Jonathan into the race, he will have most likely going to contest under the PDP. And then some persons already in the ADC were running to Jonathan to go and tell him that this is what they want. They only want him to pick them as his running mate. And these guys are in the ADC. Some of them are the strongest guys you call in the ADC from the north, because they know he's going to pick his running mate from the north. So they're already, permutating and making lobbying on how they're going to be the running mates to Jonathan, because they feel he's going to win the election and all that. So, and that is the first instance where the issue of PDP came into the picture, to start considering the PDP. It was because of Jonathan. Now, Jonathan has more or less backed down from that, and that is the reason why the issue of Makinde is now coming up. So I think so far, well, it all depends on what is going to happen in the next few weeks or few days. We're going to know where they really stand.
Why do you think that the ADC has not made that effort, has not come out clearly to zone its presidency to the south, as some very massive sentiments suggest?
So because until they realize that the ADC is actually for Atiku, as it is today.
As it is right now.
As it is right now.
It's actually for
Atiku. So, and that's why you can't zone it. It's the same reason why there was that fight in the PDP when the issue of zoning was coming up. This is one of the major reasons why the PDP actually went the way it is today. You understand what I'm saying? So you can't zone it, except you want to zone it to the north. That is the only reason why that zoning is going to hold waters in the ADC. But
except you are zoning it to the north.
To the north, yes. Outside that, you cannot zone it, because you can't make the principal, you can't, shove him aside or disqualify him from contesting.
That's that's very interesting, very interesting. Now, let me take it from there to ask, now, is that not enough to break the party? The feeling that, quote and unquote, this party is owned by Atiku. Yeah. I'm sorry. That, I don't mean that. I'm trying to project a kind of picture. Yeah. So, is that not enough to be a source of a huge setback, the source of an implosion of that, or of whatever coalition is being brought together? For example, you find out that just a month ago or thereabouts, Peter Obi walked in, apparently believing that he could get a ticket. Yeah. Now, if he doesn't get a ticket, where does that leave Peter Obi and his millions of followers? These are some of the... So, number one, do you think that that is healthy for the party? Won't it lead to the implosion of the party? Of the coalition, sure, if you like?
It's just a marriage of convenience, from the onset. Unfortunately, whatever credibility that Peter Obi thinks he's holding, there's a thin line between him and that credibility right now, as it is. Because if he's so tempted, if he's so desperate to become something in Nigeria at the presidency level, which the only option left for him now in the ADC is the vice presidential slot.
That's Obi?
Obi,
okay.
Yeah. If he falls into that trap or that temptation, he buys into that, whatever credibility he thinks he's having is gone.
If he agrees to become vice president.
Vice president, yes.
Okay.
Because what point were you making in 2023 where you were saying all the things you were saying? Your followers, there is no name they didn't call the other people in the other parties, because you are the only messiah in Nigeria at the time. So whatever it is that you are building your profile on, now you are going to mix with those other people, or to even be a running mate, or eventually you become a vice president. Vice presidents in Nigeria over time have always been spare tires. Constitutionally, you only do what the president assigned for you. There's no, in fact, to buy stationaries in the office of the vice president has to be approved from the office of the president. So literally, it's just a spare tire. What is likely to even happen in that case is that Atiku might go for vendetta, that this same guy was the one who stopped me from becoming president in 2023. Now it's time to pocket him, to make him redundant, and make sure that his political career has come to an end.
Which some people say is exactly what's playing out right now.
Yeah,
because he's been drawn out of a better place.
Yeah.
If he were patient,
yeah.
Now that the Nadi Usman leadership has been given the nod to take leadership of the party, it probably would have worked better for him.
Yeah.
But he's left that place and then it looks like he's going to be left in the lurch with the way things are going.
So some of his people, their projections were that, okay, let's play them at their own game. We go into that in the ADC, then we start some propaganda to stop Atiku from contesting. He's too old. Does he want to die there? Is he the only person and all that? So set up a propaganda machine to begin to attack him so as
to attract
the attention towards
Obi
in the long run. So and this, you see, these games play out all the time. You know, it's like when politicians, sometimes when they do these things, especially at the state level, when the governor sees that your profile is rising sometimes, he pulls out a joker. You wake up one morning and you see your poster everywhere saying for governor. You don't know anything about it, but the governor did that so to make sure that you still remain in his pocket, because you will be the one to quickly run to him, because you and the governor have never discussed that you're going to be contesting. So you will run to the governor to go and tell him that, Your Excellency, I didn't know anything about the posters all over this place. So the governor will now be telling you, I'm also surprised that you will contest and you didn't let me know.
No.
You understand? So
already creating problems.
You understand? So already your feet are already shaking in that place to say, so you've been set up. People are pasting your poster, and one of the greatest slights in politics is that when the governor knows you are in his camp, you now went ahead and start printing posters when you and him have not discussed your ambition to contest for governor. So they do all these things. It's all propaganda, and that's what the ADC is going to be facing, in a very short while from now. So many propaganda will be flying all around the place. This one will be trying to undo this one to make sure that the attention or the equation is tilting towards his side.
This is really interesting. This is a game of some kind of very, very high stakes game.
Yeah.
Now, all right. Now, let's see. There are so many areas to take a look at, but let's take a look at this. If you were Atiku, you are not Atiku.
Yes.
But if you were Atiku, now, who would you rather have as your vice president between Peter Obi and Sheyi Makinde?
Okay, so you see, for Atiku, if I were Atiku, I will look at it. Obi, as it is today, still have the votes of the Southeast.
Entire Southeast, yes.
The entire Southeast, that can be guaranteed.
Yes.
And Makinde does not have
the entire Southwest.
He does not have the entire Southwest.
Right.
The only thing that will be playing out for Makinde is if it's not individual interest or ambition chasing thing. If it's carrying his party along, the PDP.
That is the PDP. Whatever is remaining of the PDP.
Yes.
If he can pull them
to his side to say, let's have a coalition with the ADC while they pick me as the running mate. So that's the only thing that will be working for him. If I were to make the analysis, if I were Atiku, to say, well, so how many governors do you have in the PDP that you are bringing on board? Because that will now start making the stakes to raise a bit higher to say, yeah, I would rather go for someone who already have about 4 or 5 governors, for example, to be my running mates, than someone who is only having perhaps just one, right? Well, it boils down to the same thing. But you see, the advantage of Makinde, if he's carrying the PDP with him, is that it's not just a regional thing. Like you have in Obi's case, that is just Southeast that is going to deliver to me in the long run. So I have this person who, the sentiment of, oh, okay, some of his people are, some of the governors from that party are also in the northern part of Nigeria, makes my, because, and the majority of the votes for now will still be coming from the north. You understand? So he stands at a better advantage. You know what I mean? So that's the situation between Makinde and Obi right now. If I were to be Atiku, Makinde is still an edge over Obi in the long run.
If he's able to pull in the PDP structure.
If he's able to pull in the PDP structure into the whatever merger they're going to. But if he's going to single-handedly would be leaving the PDP as well to join the ADC, then I would rather go for an Obi. And of course,
and again, there's a challenge that Obi is not likely to even accept a VP ticket.
And that is the reason why they're also reaching out now, you know, consultations on what about, we should have plan B. If it fails, Obi pulls out tomorrow, then we have this as an alternative.
Wow. My viewers, I hope that you're watching and taking this in. And I do hope that you're getting ready to also join us via calls. The number is 0802993835, and it would be so wonderful, so nice if we can have some of you call in so we can have the benefit of your way in. Now, you heard Samaila, and I mean, he does a fantastic job of political analysis, and I think he's doing the same even now. And so he's saying, oh, someone is here already. I guess people are really interested in this, and the network is cooperating apparently. Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. So I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Port Harcourt, what's your name?
Yeah, my name is Martin.
All right, Martins, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've heard what the guest is saying. Do you hear me well?
Clearly, yes.
Okay.
You said you have heard what our guest is saying.
Yeah, I heard what the guest saying. He said that so he made that I could not win a 2023 election.
Well, in 2023, yeah, he made some reference to that, yes.
Yes, he made
that,
a comment that
yeah.
he made that could not to win 2023 election.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Okay.
How?
Okay.
So, see, we are all Nigerians. They not bring us from anywhere to be a Nigerian. But what I see that they are taking sides.
Okay, my guest is taking sides.
Yeah, yes, sure.
Okay. He will respond very shortly.
What I see is that this country, that someone from the East will not be the president of this country. That's what they believe. We are not begging them. We are not begging them to be. But they should look ahead of the future. That's my say.
Thank you so much, Martins. And that was a very quick call from Port Harcourt right there. Martins is his name. He's saying my guest is siding with Atiku. And how does it mean? What does it mean when he says Obi made him? It's a two-way thing, because you could also turn that around to say Atiku made Obi lose the election. Yes, I think in the final analysis, what the point that you are trying to make, I'm not holding brief, you're going to still, but is that the PDP had a fantastic chance to win in 2023, but was frustrated by these two, by the pulling out of.
Yeah, so when I made reference to that, what he said was that I was trying to make a point to say, if eventually Atiku picks Obi, or Obi agrees to be Atiku's running mate, and he becomes the vice president, if there's any case like that, is that I said, because I know how politicians reason, Atiku might go for vendetta. Maybe he didn't hear that part, that he might want to punish Obi for not allowing them to work together in 2023 so that he will have won the election, because that's what he believes.
Maybe if you put it, they would have
won. Yeah, they will have won the election, but Obi decided to pull out from their initial arrangement where they contested together the other time. Do you get what I'm saying? So, and went and contested under the Labour Party. That if it wasn't for that, if they had worked together, they probably will have won the election. That's what Atiku believes. And I said, if Obi agrees to be Atiku's running mate, Atiku might decide to punish him for that and say, and that presidency that I couldn't get because of you that time, I will also not allow you to get there, and becomes redundant, or to not make him to be redundant
in the
party as the vice president, and be rooting for someone else to take over from him. We have seen that happen a couple of times, where someone would believe that when this governor is leaving, as the deputy governor, that we have worked together, I'm supposed to be. And before you know, in less than 2 years into office, the deputy governor doesn't even know how government house is running anymore.
Yeah, exactly. We saw something like that in Edo State.
Yeah. You know,
between Obaseki and Shaibu.
Yeah. It also in Kogi State, where the chief of staff becomes more like the deputy governor. And all that. So it happens a lot of times. And that's what we are saying, that Atiku might decide to say, I'm going to punish this man. Because I know from reliable sources that Atiku was very bitter when Obi decided. Initially, it wasn't that bitter when Obi decided to go and contest for president on that Labour Party. But later, when he saw the clouds, he became very bitter. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a likelihood of him saying, I'm going to revenge or punish him.
Meanwhile, he will just have allowed him to, he will first of all use him,
to get there, and that's all. And then he becomes a redundant and wouldn't even know how the office is being run in the long run. Yeah. It happens during Jonathan Yaradua. There was a time Jonathan was reading newspaper in the office. He doesn't even know how the presidency is being run, because he was taken over by people who don't even have particular designations in the villa. You know, so they were doing the official duties of what the vice president should be doing.
Well, it says that politics is full of all kinds of uncanny, tricks and all kinds of, particularly maybe the Nigerian version.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's go a little bit further. It's interesting, some of the pictures that you have painted, that you will allow him run with him and then drop him midstream, gasping for air, and then they say, okay, let's replace him with someone. Okay, now, what if, because this was the position of the PDP from the very beginning, that it wasn't going to go into any coalition with any party, right? Yeah. Even though maybe a recent, the near annihilation, if you like, of the party may have made them to begin to think otherwise right now. But their original stand was that they're not going to get into any coalition. Now, suppose they stick to their guns. What happens to the Makinde factor, from what you said before? And then how does that position somebody else?
So you're saying if
Makinde is unable to pull the structure of the PDP along with him, what will be the attraction for the Makinde bride?
The thing is, in politics, never say never. You know, I'm talking about the PDP now.
Okay.
Whatever position they were taking before, of course, it can be overridden by happenings around, you know, the exigencies of politics make decisions or stands to change, you know, over time. Sometimes you feel, oh, you and this person were arch enemies, we can never sit down at the same table. Some political equation will force you to have to come to the table to work together, even though you know that you don't like this person, but sometimes you just have to get what you want. So if eventually the angle of the Makides is not working, which we're not sure if the PDP is even willing to go with him or not, but if that angle is not working, I think the only chance the PDP is having is to say, can we retain the states that we have currently?
That's the PDP.
The PDP.
At least at the state level.
At the state
yes,
level.
yes.
Can we retain the states that we have currently?
Yeah.
So that we'll be praying and be hoping for these other parties to start fighting themselves. Because sometimes internal issues in the party also leads to people pulling out, so that we'll be ready platform for whoever is pulling out from another party to come join us, and then let's see subsequently how many more states we can get to ourselves. That's their best choice. But for PDP to stand today to think they can win the next election, really, that would be a miracle.
That would be some huge dream. All right, okay. Now, but I'm saying, now, while this has suddenly gained popularity, the Atiku Makinde thing, since getting into public domain, is really catching like wildfire. Now, but there was the projection, there was the calculation of an Obi Kwankwaso ticket from that same party. Side by side, which one do you think is more has the capacity to thrive and make a difference?
You mean between Obi Kwankwaso ticket and which other ticket?
And Atiku Makinde.
And Atiku Makinde.
Yes.
So yeah, if eventually that happens, you know, Atiku, you can't take the fact, even if you don't like him, to say he remains about the strongest outside the presidency today in Nigeria. As a single individual, he has that clout. As a matter of fact, before the emergence of Obi, or before Peter Obi went to Labour Party, you can say Atiku had the South and most of the Southeast at some point in this country can be guaranteed that Atiku can deliver.
Because they were traditionally PDP.
Traditionally PDP.
Right.
You know, so, and he has built bridges across those divides as well. But you see, after Obi now, yeah, so if Obi and Kwankwaso is going to work, what that equation is bringing to the table is that the Southeast is coming with Obi. In that, most likely coming with Obi. And then, yeah, perhaps Kwankwaso also have some presence in some northern states, you know.
And of course, the traditional Kano state, yeah.
Yeah, the traditional Kano is going to get.
But don't forget that Kano now is going to be a hot case, because you have the former chairman of APC from the state. You have the deputy senate president from the state. You have a governor, a sitting governor, and you have the minister of the deputy minister of the Federal Capital Territory, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's totally going to win Kano.
All right.
But they're going to get a large chunk of votes from Kano.
Okay.
Because that is actually where he has the strongest base. So expectedly he will bring large chunk of votes from Kano itself.
Right.
You know, yeah. So that's the thing. But you see, for Atiku and Makinde, yes. Atiku, having been a former PDP a member or founder member of the PDP, he still has his reach. As a matter of fact, most of the people they are parading around for this coalition, this ADC, are people who left the PDP with him and go into that. And then the rest of them are people who are aggrieved or who have been hurt in other parties, who came in or who have had dealings with him in the past. So he's going to still have a lot of those people with him. And then Makinde, if he's taking the PDP along, PDP will also be trying all they can to make sure that they deliver the PDP states today. You have their government.
You're talking about Bauchi, Adamawa,
and Zamfara, you know, in some cases. Because you see, and that's the strength of a sitting governor. They will try their best to make sure that, come what may, if at least you didn't win for your presidential election,
you should at least win the governorship.
And if you are winning the governorship, means you will have a considerable votes for the president from that same state as well. You know, so those factors will also be accompanying that ticket Atiku Makinde in the long run. And some founding fathers of the PDP who still believe Atiku is the only person. I know this kind of thing played out. I think was it in 2019 or thereabout, where meetings were going on as to who was going to contest against Buhari. Buhari at the time has stepped on some toes of some generals in Nigeria who believe the only person that can fight a Buhari from the north is only an Atiku that can give him a good fight. And that was why I know a number of them who said they can never sit down at the same table to have this kind of conversation with some of the members of that caucus. But you know, they were doing it by proxies and all that to say, well, we're going to pull out resources to make sure that he gets there. Largely because a lot of them have some kind of beef with Buhari at the time, to say, look, let's Atiku come. Because that will have been that Buhari will have spent just a term in office. Because, yeah, Atiku gave a good fight that year, you know, and then, yeah, Buhari eventually, they said he won the election. Yeah, he won the election. So those factors will still be there for Atiku. But I can tell you, I don't see Atiku retiring from contesting after 2027, except if there's another challenge, but he still has that ambition. You see, there's something
after 2027.
Yes, he's still going to contest for election. Go and write it down. We have been saying this long ago that no, he won't contest that another election. He will contest. He has been contesting, and he will still contest. He will still contest. You know. So I think sometimes when you reflect back, you're thinking, because some of these guys are saying, so if I don't contest, what should I be doing?
No.
He told someone, when somebody told him, was it 2019 or so, or thereabout, that, sir, I feel.
Is it a kind of a birthright?
Yeah, the person was telling him that at this stage, I feel you should just relax from this race and just be an observer, and you know. He said, what do you want me to be doing if I don't contest? So
they
see it's like a vocation. There's nothing else to do again. I'm retired. I can't go back to any office. So this is the only thing I can pursue to get back into an office or to work again. You understand what I'm saying? So
is that derived? Is that coming out of passion to serve,
well,
or passion to aggrandizement?
Let me tell you something. When him and Obasanjo just started having their issues during their presidency, you know, there was a time Obasanjo usually holds a media chat.
Yes.
I think once monthly or thereabouts.
Right. Yeah.
On one of the occasions, he was asked, Mr. President, why do you think? I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but what he was asking Obasanjo at the time is that, why do you think Atiku is that ambitious? Was it did you give him an inkling at any point
that you would be handing over to
him and all that? Because at that time they don't even see again. It was a very tough fight going on between the two of them.
Right.
That he knows impeaching Atiku wasn't going to walk through the National Assembly. So Obasanjo responded. He said, one of the small ministers told me. Now, the way his body language, the way he described the small minister, you will
was talking physically.
He was talking about
describing
he was the minister of FCT at the time. He said one of the small ministers told me that Atiku said his Ojuju told him.
Yeah.
When he won the governorship, that he said that the Ojuju told him he's going to win the governorship in Adamawa, and he won. Now the Ojuju came back and told him.
The Marabout.
He's talking about Obasanjo was using Ojuju.
Yeah, okay.
He said the Ojuju told him, again, that he see him in another higher office, not even the governorship that he won. And it happened, I called him to become the vice president.
Okay, and
has told him, again, that he's definitely going to be the president of Nigeria.
All right.
And that is one of the reasons why he's not backing down. So Obasanjo was saying it lightly that, look, I'm here, let the Ojuju come and install him as the president of Nigeria. So sometimes you are beginning to think, could it be true that some of these guys are believing the Marabouts more than they believe any other thing? To say, look, it has been said I'm going to occupy this office and it's going to happen.
Especially when the first predictions and the second prediction
come true, you know what I mean? So perhaps those are the issues. And they have some examples they can actually copy from. Is to say, oh, even Buhari also did it for more than 4 times before he eventually became the president.
Even after he had said he was no longer interested.
You know, and all that. So, yeah, but as far as I'm concerned, I know the man will still contest after 2027 if he didn't win the elections.
That will be in 2031 again.
Yes, that will be in 2030. It doesn't matter if he's 99 years old.
As long as he's healthy.
He's healthy and his feet, he's going to be there. And you know, funny enough, some people still believe Atiku has the money. He doesn't have that kind of money.
The way before, because his cash cow has been
yeah, of course. And so he's banking largely on people who believes that
in him,
if he wins the election, they're going to have. And you know, there are some of these business tycoons in Nigeria, and there are some of them Nigerians operating outside Nigeria that donates money to most of the big wigs that are contesting for president, because they know they are not sure if this one is going to win or the other person is going to win. So whichever it falls, they are in the.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back.
Okay, sir. So what I'm saying on the expert like Atuku is good for president. You understand me?
Yeah.
But if you look, he contested for 3 or 4 times. He couldn't win. Is it now that he will win? Like if I was just saying Martindale and him to contest. Yeah.
We're not saying they should contest. We're saying what has been reported in the newspaper.
Okay. If 2 of them want to match, they cannot defeat APC.
Those are part of the issues we are examining, yeah?
Yes. Let me tell you, we are in Nigeria. We know what is happening.
But let me take you quickly. Let me take quickly. Now, if Atiku Makinde cannot win the APC, do you see Obi right now winning the APC, Obi and whoever?
Listen, sir. Listen, sir.
All right.
It's not a dream. Not in a dream. Only person that APC and Tubu is afraid of Obi. They are afraid of Obi. Mark it somewhere. So Obi cannot be a vice to anyone. Let's test him. He's a human being. He's person. He's a Nigerian. They should not play sentiment. So that's what I want to contribute. Thank you. Let people put mouth. Let them be opinion.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much. Well, dear viewers, you heard one of you, and he called the first time and he has called the second time, saying, as far as he's concerned, this time around, he says the force of Atiku and Makinde cannot upstage the APC. Well, that's another line of thought that we also need to take a critical look at. So you can call in on 08029938365. You want to respond to that?
Yeah, so let me say this very quickly. You see, as it stands today, because like I told you at the beginning, that the ADC is an accident waiting to happen. You can't hear me? That the ADC is an accident waiting to happen. So what's going to happen is that the same results that played out in 2023 is what is still going to play out. But Bola Ahmed Asiwaju is still going to win the election in 2027. You're going to have the same pattern of the elections. The way it went in 2023 is still going to play out. All the other guys in the opposition are very ambitious. Nobody is ready to forgo for the other person. So you're going to have 3 strong candidates contesting under 3 different parties. Now, take note that at the time that happened, Asiwaju was not the president at the time. Now he's a sitting president. So there are so many things that is going to go his way just by mere sentiment or
of the incumbency.
Of the incumbency. See, some people would rather say, let me stay with the one that is there now.
Yeah.
At least so that I can be guaranteed to get something in the second tenure if I didn't get anything in the first. You understand? Than to go and gamble again. You know, so a lot of things are going to be tilting towards his direction this time around, and I can guarantee you the same pattern of what happened in 2023 is still going to happen in 2027. You know, so there's no any argument about
that. Is that also a way of saying that there's only a little chance of the APC being upstaged in the 2027 presidency?
Yeah, there's a little chance. Very, it's becoming slimmer by the day, because the more you're hearing of, you know, the consultations going on within the ADC and the likes, you will know that it's going to win. As a matter of fact, I see the incumbent doing more work than the opposition is doing. So despite that he have the power of incumbency working for him for now, he's still doing more work. Every day you see the way they are reaching out, trying to say, look, even though our party already has the highest number of states in their kitty because of the number of governors that we have, they are still shopping for more. they still want more people because they don't want to take any chances to say, look, whatever it's going to take, we want to win the election. So, and if you're going by the numbers, for as of today, the number of governors the APC is having,
the number of
senators, reps, and all that, what case scenario take a bit fraction away from it to say during the polls they're going to lose this fraction, but they're still going to be leading in the long run. So, you know, give or take, it's more like a walkover. 2027 is more like a walkover with what is happening within the camp of the opposition, because I'm sure we're going to have 3 strong candidates contesting that election minimum. That's
let's take them again.
Tinubu, yes. Obi is going to be contesting somewhere else. Atiku is going to be contesting.
He's going to be contesting somewhere else.
Somewhere else. Of course, it's not going to be the ADC. I told you the ADC belongs to Atiku. They can keep pretending that it doesn't, because it was a ploy, it was a decoy to just make sure you have him in your pocket and all that. But it belongs to Atiku, so that's what's going to happen. It's going to play out, you know. But they just want to buy time to make sure that it will be late for him to now pull out. Yeah. But yeah, that's the way it is, and that's how it will continue to be.
Now, all right, let's go back to the sentiments of the South and the North rotation on written agreement thing.
Yeah.
Now, how does that? How does it put? In what light does it put the ADC if the presidential ticket of the party is not zoned to the South? And how can it have some effect on that?
Yeah. So what people need to be asking themselves is that, how was the ADC given birth to in the first place? You have a strong article leaving a party that is saying he can't use that platform to contest because we want to zone. These are some of the genesis of the problems in the PDP. Now looking for a platform where he can contest. Now try to talk to a few guys and say, look, Your Excellency, we still believe in you, even though I'm coming from the APC, because I've been disappointed in the APC. Now you're on our next project. So what do? Let's form a party. The party is formed because the party was formed concerning a particular individual. They're only looking for supporters ab initio. So how do you now upstage that? It's not going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So that is not going to happen.
So in the minds of Nigerians, how will that go?
How do you mean, how will it go?
If Nigerians purportedly believe that right now what we should be looking at is the Southern presidency, and then the party chooses not to make that formal, chooses to leave it open. So how do you think
Well, so you see, a lot of times they don't really care what some people are thinking, because you see, some persons are already telling them, I will deliver X, Y, Z places. Another person said, I will deliver this
hard strategy, hard calculating strategy, right?
Yes.
So
we're going to deliver worst case scenario. They already have a map to say we're going to lose this state, we're going to lose this state, we're going to lose this state. But if we win this, this, and this, then we are coasting to victory. So they're not dragging everywhere. They just want to focus on the areas where they know this is the area of strength, and this is where, if they're able to win by either 60% or whatever, the numbers are going to declare them the winners of the election. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So really, they don't really care. They feel, look, we're not going to allow this zoning thing to stop this project. Let's discard of it. If we win the election, we can bring it back to say now properly, the party is properly formed and situated. Now we begin to zone. But there's nothing there's any arrangement you want to bring to the table to say Atiku is not going to contest under the ADC. No, it's not going to happen. And that's why I say 3 strong candidates are going into an election, but the same person who you went into the election together is not today the president.
It's not the president.
So you go, let's even assume you pull the same numbers you pulled the last time. He's still winning the election.
Exactly.
The power of incumbency is playing out for him. Now, at that time, he doesn't have the number of governors
that he currently has.
Now he has convinced some of the governors they are with him today. Worst case scenario, you're going to split in some of the places where you think you are strong. If you have a sitting governor who is with Asiwaju, you're going to split the vote 50-50. That's the worst case scenario with the governor. You understand what I'm saying? So you're not going to just win landslide and say, oh, we won it by 70% or something. So the man is still leading, is still ahead.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. This is really interesting, and I do hope that our viewers are following us, and will do the needful by calling in. Let's go this way. Now, so, as of now, realistically speaking, there are clusters of the northern populists that are not too excited about what's going on under the Asiwaju.
Yes.
And so there are like a rising groundswell I mean, not being, not unhappiness, maybe bitterness, and all that. So that also probably could be something for the Atiku people, the Atiku camp, to latch onto, right? You think so?
Yeah, it is. It is something they can latch on. But you see, in the long run, a lot of times it has happened in this country. People display a different sentiment when they are outside because, oh, this is where what people are saying around my area, so I join them in saying the same thing. But there are people who will always deliver votes from different places. There are some of them don't make noise. They know they will deliver. There's no anything about that. They know, and you know, those are some of the things that worked for Bola Ige during his days. You understand? No matter what you did during the campaign, whatever you say, he moves in the night to go to those places and make sure that every point or whatever the people are already buying into from this other person is being thrown in the gutters, because they just believe in some of those guys and they know their strategy of saying, we know he has come here to tell you this, but this is what we are going to do, or this is what this man is doing. So all Asiwaju is banking on is there are still people who can deliver, who are with him today. Regardless of what people are saying, the votes, it doesn't have to be rigged, because there are places that if I know some people that I know they will deliver their constituency, there's no anything, because the people there believes in him, in that person in particular.
Right.
You understand?
Who are holding the fort for
him.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to be accepted all over the place, but if he has some key guys who are accepted in their domain, that's all he needs. You understand? So people might be saying this or outside, but there are people who they believe in, who are close to them, who will further be telling them, look, this is what this guy is doing. This is how much he loved us, especially from this area. This is the project we're able to pull out from this same. The people we believe that are our own, or who we believed in before, didn't do half of what this guy has done. And that's all. Then sentiments begin to change overnight. You know, so that's politics for you. A lot of times people will tell you, oh, because some people are saying this, a lot of the people that are saying some of these things sometimes don't even have voters card. You see, it's just like the typewriter warriors. They are there on social media,
the keyboard,
giving you how people will win election and all that.
Yeah.
But so a lot of them don't even have voters card. A lot of them will rather be in the beer parlor the day of the election because they see that as holiday to enjoy. So when you are talking to people who are very informed, who have their voters card ready, who have the time to queue for 3, 4, 5 hours, they will stand there in the sun to make sure that they vote. You that you are just a computer warrior in your bedroom, who is already giving the analysis of what will happen on election day, who you yourself and your friends don't have any voters card, who will not go out because you can't stand the stress that these other guys can stand, you are the one who is giving out the election result already. But they are not even making noise. They are just going there to go and vote.
To make the thing happen.
To make the thing happen. You know, so and that's why sometimes people will come out and say, oh, it's been rigged, it's been rigged. A lot of the people who are shouting it's been rigged, a lot of the times don't vote. And that's why when you collate the election results and you look at the number, the millions of people who voted, you are thinking, I thought they say we are 200 and something million in Nigeria. How come only 20 million voted? Or how come only 30 million voted? That's where we are. Because majority of those ones who are telling you what to be the outcome of the elections
will not even venture out.
Going out. So they are also in the close to 180 million who don't even have voters card or who didn't vote on election day. They are the first to carry placard to tell you how the election was being rigged. So that's the problem.
This is a whole powerful session with Samaila this afternoon. Now, he says, you said categorically,
yeah.
ADC is owned by Atiku.
Okay, that's the truth. It's owned by him. whoever is going there is either you are loyal to Atiku or you are wasting your time. That's just, it's as pure as that. You are wasting your time. There's no way.
I thought the emergence, it was this was the sentiment that was touted at the time, that with the emergence of David Mark as chairman, some kind of balance and fair play and whatever was going to come to play.
If push come to shove, what can happen is that David Mark can be forced to leave that, or not. It doesn't even have to be forced. They all have an understanding. At the time where the APC was formed, they needed someone who has some clout, having been a governor from all the 70s and being a Senate president about 3 times or thereabout, you know, will be able to stabilize the party at takeoff. You understand? Yeah. At his age, I'm not sure he's having any ambition anymore.
Exactly.
As it is. So he can always step down from the chairmanship if the push comes to shove. But for Atiku, that one is not negotiable. Anybody can try to push or fly propaganda to say we must make sure that he's forced to step down on anything. That party was formed around him, and that is how it will remain.
And so there's no space for the kind of finesse of oh, let's zone to the south. Or
no. So you see, what the ADC is only doing is that those guys who you think you are strong, people like Obi and the likes, that they are pulling them towards them, is to make the party more stronger. It's not because
and to use them for
of course. That's what I mean by making it stronger, to make sure that more votes come in because of the sentiment of, oh, okay, Obi is now in the party and all that. But outside that, there's nothing. There's nothing anybody is going to show or to argue otherwise that the party was informed around Atiku have been issued. And I'm sure the Obi's camp also have weighed their options. But like I said, they are also weighing in having enough propaganda going on to make sure that the man is stepping down, because they stand a better chance if the ADC can now say, oh, okay, Obi is our candidate, for example. That's the Obi's camp now, not that the ADC stand a better chance.
Okay.
But Obi stand a better chance if he's having a party that is now within a short time this big as the ADC. Yeah. But of course, it's not going to happen. Nobody's going to hand over the tickets to him. And if you're going by the numbers, it's not, he can't win. He probably will deliver the delegates of the Southeast that will be coming for the EDC convention. They go to vote for him, and that's all. It ends there.
Point blank.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Sure.
All right. I hope that all the camps are watching right now, and then you can see what to do concerning your own camp, where you need to, tighten some loose knots and everything. Now, so, what are you going to say to Martins, who called a while ago and was expressing sentiments like maybe, whether you like it or not, if I got him correctly, Obi was going to emerge and win or something?
Well, maybe I didn't get that part very well,
like
but
that.
if that was what he was insinuating, perhaps he's saying Obi is going to get his ambition realized through another party. I'm sure there are several parties out there that will be willing to give Obi their tickets to come and contest under them. But you see, time is not on their side. The more time they are wasting, the more grounds they are losing. Because you see, as of February today, we have exactly like a year to election.
Exactly.
You understand? So whatever decision you want to make, if you don't make it in the next 3 months max, then you're already
I don't know, even right now I think it's
already getting late.
It's late.
Yeah, let's even assume you are doing something or behind the curtains that people don't know.
No.
It must be revealed max in 3 months time. You must reveal it so that whoever wants to jump on your side or be with you will be with you. Because some people are indecisive right now. They also have their stakeholders that saying, look, nobody has reached out to me yet, but I think I'd rather align with this person or that person, so that the earlier I'm doing that, the better my chances also of being recognized and all that. So the more grounds you'll be losing, because to pull some of those people now back from that place. In fact, you can see even from the Southeast, some popular figures are already aligning with either the Asiwaju's government today, because they are feeling even the OB is indecisive. Ordinarily, we will have said, oh, we want to go with him, but look, we also want to be relevant in the scheme of things. We can't hinge our own life on somebody else's ambition. He might get in there tomorrow and they say they are not giving him. So is that what I'm going to, is that what is my life consists of? It all depends on what happens to this man before I can become anything in life. No, I want to take my own destiny in my own hands. So they say, look, well, if it's not ready yet, it doesn't seem serious, let me forge ahead and go with another person.
You know, like what you have said, that there's every likelihood that, first of all, that the party is built around Atiku and is going to get the ticket.
Yeah.
Even the report in the Daily Monitor did say, whether I think quoting Fayose or something, that he has 70% chance of getting the ticket.
Yeah.
Which aligns exactly with what you have said.
Okay.
Now, but you said something that Atiku will keep contesting even if he doesn't win.
Yeah.
Now, but what does that say of his personality? If just to contest, you have moved from PDP to
several times from
exactly from PDP and to some other parties. What was the other party now? Accord, is it?
Yeah, it was in Accord.
Accord party.
Where it later went back to PDP, left to PDP again.
Went to this Bola, this same Tinubu, Abi?
No, he later joined the APC.
No, before APC?
No, it was Accord.
Okay, well, that was Accord. APC. Okay, that was Accord.
Yeah.
All right, and then you joined the APC, and then you came out of the APC, back to the PDP, and right now we're talking about the ADC. What does that say of his personality? What does it also say of our kind of democracy?
Yeah. So Atiku sees himself as an institution. He's not seeing himself as a person. So he feels
wherever he goes.
Yeah, that is an institution that is already built, properly founded and all that. To say wherever Atiku moves to, it's an institution that is moving. Already he has been living that kind of life that with paraphernalia of a president. When you see his aides and all that, wherever he's going, he likes that, you know, that paraphernalia as if he's the president. He's already practicing that kind of lifestyle. So beyond that, he sees himself as an institution that, look, Atiku is like a movement. That name is just, he bears the name, but it's a name of a movement, you know, within the space of Nigeria, that whatever
apparently that cannot be limited by any particular party.
Yeah.
Right.
So wherever he moves to, the institution is moving with him, you know. But I can tell you,
does it not say something negative about character, about consistency, about principles, about political beliefs?
So, well, I think we're still far from having the kind of democracy where we begin to talk about character. Ideology is even far from
ideology. And all that.
We're not running those kind of politics in Nigeria yet. We might get there someday. It's not about ideology. We have governors. Quote me anywhere. I know of. I've encountered governors who doesn't even know the manifesto of their party. So it's not about manifesto or ideology of any party. People are just moving wherever their ambitions can be realized. You know. So you can see Mr. A and B being enemies today. It's not on principle, really. It's just about interest, personal interest. If it's not working, they are not together. If it's working, they are together once their interest aligns. But it's not on a principle to say, well, I can never be in the same party with somebody who believes that this and that cannot happen in Nigeria. So it's not about that. It's about my interest. Are we ready to work together to support my candidate or to support me as a candidate? Fine and good.
Or to promote my interest, to safeguard my interest.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that is bringing them together. It's not ideology, it's not manifesto. That's the listing. In fact, manifesto themes are just there to say, in case we are asked the manifesto of our party or on what ideologies is this movement being built on, we should have something so that we don't get embarrassed. But it's not like they know it. The people who are writing that are even far from the people who are connected.
There's a disconnect from the very beginning.
Of course, yeah.
My God. All right, now, if you had the ears of Obi at a time like this, and considering what played out in 2023, which you also referred to, could be a source of bitterness that somebody may still be thinking of how to revenge.
Yeah.
What would you say to Obi right now? Does it really make sense to port out of the ADC right now and go contest? Because you have said it's going to be a 3-horse race.
Yeah.
Now, does it really make sense for an Obi to pot now and go maybe back to the LP, who knows, or to any other party and contest? And at the end of the day, all is able to garner for that party, or all that that party is able to garner on his behalf, and of course for the party, is maybe the entire Southeast, which still does not go the distance in winning the election? Or would it be better for him to remain where he is and try to mobilize the votes of the East to join whatsoever that the ADC can get in order to ensure that the APC is upstaged?
Well, you see, one thing I would say is this. Obi should not deceive himself. If care is not taken, he has had the best outing he could ever have in his life.
With 2023.
It might be the best outing he will ever have, or the best achievement in his political career in his lifetime, if care is not taken. You know, because it's losing steam as well.
Yeah, of course.
It's not the same momentum. That momentum was not built on. It's gone. So really, he should not deceive himself. The people who are, or they're also putting him on the scale to say, look, we know his strengths. If we have a replacement from that, his strength, if he is not ready to kowtow or to go with us, we should have, can go with the other guy. We can go with the alternative that we're having. Because when you put them on the scale, I think they are weighing almost the same thing. You understand? Even the Muslim ticket that was causing issue that time was almost a forgotten issue today. Because there's nothing in this presidency that is showing that is a Muslim ticket. You understand? So that one is also losing, that slogan is losing whatever force it was having that was making majority
but is that really true at a time when it looks as if the presidency is jittery about that and was thinking of replacing Shettima with
the presidency never came out to
Northern Christian?
The presidency, those are propaganda. The presidency knew that, you see, for you to drop Shettima, to bring another issue, you're bringing another topic that is a forgotten topic. It's almost literally forgotten topic. So you want to bring in a Shettima, if you drop a Shettima, there was a time Congress who was lobbying to be the running mate. If you have done that, what you are creating is another Muslim ticket issue.
Even then,
it will not start again. That also, even after the man is dropping the Shettima that we think
he will choose replacing him with a Muslim again.
With another Muslim. Are you saying there's no Christian that? So you're going to awaken that conversation?
Yeah, but the last part that we heard was trying to source for a Northern Christian.
It was at that point that some of the Northern Christians who have that ambition
began
to do some lobbying.
All right.
To understand, to say, look, let it be a Northern Christian this time around and all that. But even at that, something fresh is still going to start coming up. Something you had already forgotten. But I'm telling you categorically today that there's nothing in this government that is really showing that it's a Muslim presidency.
Ticket.
You understand? Go and look at people who are around the president. Literally, most of them are Christians. You understand? So, and I feel in the South, that issue of religion is not really that that hot and stuff like that. So really, you rather just go the way it is right now, to just make sure that, well, let's maintain our structures. Our books are open. We have not done anything to undermine the interests of the Christians and all that. You can check that. You can fact check all these things.
This is crucial, even though it's not really part of this interview, but because this has come up. Do you foresee a situation in the near future where you have a Christian ticket and it sails through? Do you think that will be acceptable to the North?
So the problem with that is that it might not be acceptable, really. I'll tell you that. But if you have, because I saw where that almost happened in Niger State, when a Dr. Shem Zagbainu, who will have become the governor, Dr. Zagbainu, who is a Christian.
It's a Christian, yeah.
You know, but at that time, he was about the strongest politician. You understand, in the entire state at the time. But the issue of religion was coming up. But I'm saying, I mean, things have evolved and all that. If you have somebody from the North, which today I have not seen a Northern Christian that is that strong politically to become the president.
Right now,
that has that clout. You know, forget about Asuaju coming from a party that was already in the saddle of the hem of affairs at the time. Literally, he was a strong, he had been a strong politician before that time.
Yes, right.
That was what he was bringing to the table, and that's why he's been considered for whatever it is as a leader of the party. Was because of the area of strength he was coming in from.
And you don't see any person of that kind?
I've not seen any person of that kind from the north as it is today. That might happen in the nearest future, but literally there's nothing like that for now. So that will happen if, for example, you have someone, and that's why for those who have worked with Asiwaju while he was governor in Lagos State, we'll always feel we have worked with him. It's just that the exigencies or the permutations of politics means he has to pick somebody from the north, and the indices is that it has to be a Muslim. But between you and I, we have worked with this man. We didn't see anything that says, in fact, if I'm a Christian, I've been working with him for 30 years, I should be able to tell you that if we had followed that issue of religion, I shouldn't be working with him. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So all those things, but by and large is that until you have a strong individual, not just because some meetings say we needed somebody and we went shopping. You know, when you go to shop, a lot of people don't know those individuals. But if you shop for somebody who is already known, who is strong as an individual for himself, it's an easier sell to a larger community than somebody from obscurity, because we are forced to just go and shop for somebody and he just came.
I tell you, this has been quite loaded. I must say thank you to you, Samaila.
Thank you for having me.
And to think that you came on short notice, I really appreciate this. And let me say thank you to the production team. Thank you so much. Ephraim, Joseph, Bright, everyone, thank you very much. And I say big thank you to our viewers from around the world. Thank you. You make it happen. And I will give you a big thumbs up. We draw the curtains right now. And I invite you to join me on Matters Horizon from 8 to 9 this evening. My name remains Dayo Mogun, and it's bye from me.